3 ways to execute a subject to deal. Hey everybody, it's Jamel Gibbs with the REI Education Academy, helping you close deals consistently in your real estate investing business. A couple of months ago, I did a video on the entire subject to process. I explained the entire thing, and I'm gonna link that video up at the top so that you can see what a subject to deal is. Today, we're gonna talk about 3 different ways that you can execute a subject to deal. Well, the first way you can do it is by wholesaling the subject to deal. Now, just like with wholesaling a regular deal, wholesale the subject to deal. And the down payment that goes on the property is gonna be your wholesale fee. And all you're gonna do is assign your rights over to the end buyer. It could be the retail buyer or an investor. So that's wholesaling subject to deals in a nutshell. The second way to close a subject to deal is by taking over the mortgage, but then you would sell it on a lease with an option to purchase, or rent to own, as they call it. I prefer lease with an option to purchase, primarily because it's a safer way to market the property. You can take over the payments and then sell it on a lease with an option to purchase. Tip number 3 when it comes to subject to investing. We understand that wholesaling is simply assigning the contract, and we understand that the down payment from the wholesale type of deal on a subject to is going to be your wholesale profit. We also understand that we can keep the property and take over the payments and do a lease with an option to purchase, and that's going to leave us with money up front when we collect the down payment. That's going to leave us with a profit every single month. And that's also going to give us profit on the back end when we sell, because the difference between what you actually sell the property for and what's owed on the property is going to be all pocket money at the end of the day. So that's 2 different ways. Then you have the third way. You can simply take over the mortgage on the property, put some money into the property, and then rent the property out. Keep it long term. If there's a 20-year mortgage on the property or a 25-year mortgage on the property left, then you're simply gonna let that mortgage continue to ride out for 20 to 25 years, or until you decide to sell that property. Doing it this way, it's gonna make you more of a landlord, but again, you get to make that monthly cash flow. So you wanna make sure that the mortgage can be covered by the rents in the area, and this will ultimately allow you to keep this property in your portfolio long term. So again, just to recap the 3, you have wholesaling subject to deals, which will ultimately allow you to accept a down payment as your wholesale profit, and then assign your rights in your contract to your end buyer. You also have lease optioning the property, which will allow you to take over the mortgage and then sell it on a rent to own as is. So it doesn't matter what the property condition is, if it's in great shape or if it needs work, the tenant will be responsible. We typically make the tenant responsible for repairing the property. We accept the down payment from them, and then we also collect money every single month and money on the back end. So you essentially get paid 3 different times on one deal. And then you can also just simply take over the payments on the property and keep the property as a rental long term. So that's 3 different ways that you can execute a subject to deal. Be sure to implement these strategies. Get out there, mix it up a little bit. My favorite one, to be honest with you, is the second one. I like to take over properties subject to, or by using some other creative method. And then what I'll typically do is I'll rent the property. I'll accept the down payment, which is money up front. Then I'll take the money every single month, which is cash flow for me, and money on the back end, which provides me with a huge spread. So that way I'm getting the best of all worlds. I'm getting a wholesale-like check up front. Even though it's not a wholesale check, it's equivalent to a wholesale check. I'm collecting cash flow every single month on these properties, and then I get a rehab type of check. And even though it's not a rehab again, I'm getting something that's equivalent to a rehab check on the back end. So I really get some money up front, money every month, money on the back end. My absolute favorite way of investing these days, outside of wholesaling houses. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like it, share it with others, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you on the next one.